yours truly. I'm the one and only. I go by the name of Mr. TALIAFERRO. Please make sure you're following your boy. It's on Instagram and it's at It's Mr. TALIAFERRO, bruh. It's always at It's Mr. TALIAFERRO. I'm sorry, fellas, but I gotta do this one for the ladies. They having a big time week. Two of a lot of my ladies that follow my platform, two of their favorite artists release music, so I gotta cover that. I gotta be fair on this platform and cover all my bases. I said I represent the culture, not just the gentlemen. We gotta do this one for the ladies. Salute to Cardi B. She dropped off her lead single for what looks like probably we getting a project from Cardi B. You gotta believe you only release a record like this with a feature like the one she's got if you have plans on dropping an album. Her new record, WAP, Wet As Vagina, features none other than Megan Thee Stallion. I mean, this is a big deal, ladies and gentlemen. You got two artists that are atop their genre, female acts at that. We have seen a lot of clashing between two female acts of this caliber in recent years. To see these two women come on the same accord to deliver this big high-profile record, let me just put it like this. This record has to work for a lot of different reasons. There's a lot of money behind this new record, WAP, which is Cardi's record featuring Megan Thee Stallion. I know there's been a lot of controversy over the record, a lot of criticism, positive and negative over the record over the weekend. I actually like the record. Now, it ain't gonna be in TALIAFERRO'S playlist, but when it comes on, it is what it is. I understand it. I get it. Right? I like there's some holes in this house. I love the sample of that. And obviously, this is going to be one of the records that gets women up dancing. I just see a lot of negative criticism towards the record. I don't see how men can be so upset at a record that at the end of the day, when you're at a party, when you're at an event, the end goal, what the record is going to do is get women up dancing. I'm never mad at a record that makes women want to get up and vibe and dance more. And they're talking their ish on this bad boy with the best of them. One lyric that stood out to me specifically was a lyric from Megan Thee Stallion. She said, "If he ate my ass, he a bottom feeder." All right, hold on now. Wait a minute now. Now, I'm not offended. Some people are like, yo, the record was too sexual. That's not me. Dudes give it up. They talk their ish in their own way. I ain't mad at that. If anything, I was a little offended by Kylie Jenner giving her moment in the video, giving her cameo. I would have rather the spotlight that go to Beyonce or Queen Patti LaBelle or Rihanna or Michelle Obama. I'd rather it go to one of them over Kylie Jenner. Like, I don't like the optics of that, giving her a pause in the video. But what did offend you, boy, was the fact that Megan Thee Stallion opted to diss men that eat women's ass. Now, wait a minute now. Hold on now. What is wrong and why are we clowning the brothers out there that go above and beyond to please their ladies? I am now hurt and I am appalled. All right? That is the one thing that offended me. Not for what everybody else was complaining about, but I am offended that Megan Thee Stallion called dudes that go the extra mile on they lady, she called them bottom feeders. Wait a minute now. Hold on now. Well, Cardi B, she did take up for a girl, and she hopped on her social media to apologize to the men that got offended by Megan Thee Stallion's tone and verbiage in said record. She said, "Me and Megan would like to give a public apology to all the ass eaters. We didn't want to offend any ass eaters around the world, specifically offending y'all by calling you a derogatory word such as a bottom feeder. This has to taught us a tough lesson, and we will never do it again." Well, thank you, Cardi, for the apology. Making men feel bad for going above and beyond for pleasing their lady. What the hell is that? Speaking of Cardi B, as she promoted her record last week, I saw in an interview with Apple Music, Cardi B actually bigged up a person that she has not had the best rapport with in the past. We see Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion looking like they loving each other. They vibing in the video. Well, Cardi B and Nicki Minaj have not had that type of exchange thus far in Cardi's career. As a matter of fact, Cardi and Nicki couldn't even be on location together to do a music video in the past. Cardi in this Apple Music interview, though, was very complimentary of Nicki when she was speaking on the lack thereof of female acts in the game a few years ago. She said, "When I was 6, 7, or 8, there was a lot of different female rappers. And then there was a time when there were no female rappers at all. I have to keep replaying songs from the early 2000s. I have to keep replaying it because for a while, there was just no female rappers in the game. Then there was one female rapper that dominated for a very long time. And here's where I think Cardi went above and beyond to kind of squash any issue she had with Nicki. She said, and she did pretty good, she's still dominating. And I like that, right? That's Cardi not only bigging up what Nicki did in the past, but when you say she's still been dominating, obviously that was Cardi being very complimentary to Nicki Minaj. And that's dope. If they smooth their problems out behind the scenes, or maybe they have not, I like what Cardi did there. That was very mature of Mama Bardi to come out and say, yo, man, I got to give it up to Nicki. I might not personally get along with her. We might have our differences, but I got to acknowledge what she has done for female rap. She's been dominating for quite some time. She didn't mention Nicki by name, but obviously she was talking about the one and only queen, Nicki Minaj. Speaking of Nicki, speaking of Cardi, and speaking of Megan Thee Stallion, as we celebrate these female acts that are all killing the game and they're out in their own ways, one guy that is not a fan of Nicki, Cardi, or Megan, their approach to their lyrics and their music in 2020 is none other than, drumroll please, Ceelo Green. What? Ceelo Green, in a recent interview, and I mean he gave it up with Far Out, he talked about the current landscape of female rap music and how he felt like so much of it is too derogatory and not positive and proactive for some of the young up-and-coming ladies that listen to Cardi or Nicki or Megan. He said, we are all adults. There should be a time and place for adult content. As adults and artists, we should at least attempt to be each other's accountability partners in some regard. The stereotypes that are celebrated and perpetuated ultimately make the perception a reality. It is disenfranchising and it has caused a great deal of problems. He went on to tell Far Out, you have the head of state like Nicki Minaj or someone who is up there in accolade, success, visibility, a platform to influence. Nicki could be effective in so many other constructive ways, but it feels desperate. Attention is also a drug and competition is around. There are all more or less Cardi and Megan Thee Stallion doing similar salacious gesturing to kind of get into position. I get it. The independent woman and being in control, the divine feminine and sexual expression, I get it, but it comes at what cost? That is Ceelo Green speaking on the landscape of women's hip hop nowadays. Essentially, he dissed it. He said he did not like where women's rap is going, the content that women are speaking on in their lyrics. I don't like what Ceelo Green said. And again, Ceelo is more than entitled to have his own perspective and opinion. I'm not actually mad at Ceelo Green's perspective. He think some of the head acts like a Cardi B, like a Nicki, like a Megan Thee Stallion, and some of the other artists that I like coming up, salute to Flo Milli and Mulatto, I think they're both on their way to becoming rap stars in the game as well. If you believe some of these women should have more empowering records, maybe speak on some political issues in such a trying time like this, I get it. I'm not mad at that. But my only thing is, Ceelo, how come all your energy is given to the ladies? Like, how come you don't hold men the same levels of account that you do to women, right? You could call out a Young Thug, a Gunna. I'm just naming a couple artists. There are a plethora of artists you could go with, and even some artists that you worked with in the past that to me in 2020, they don't stand for much musically either. Some of the legends that we do respect but are trying to stay with the youngins and make music that still appeases to the masses. How come you leave it with the women? Like, there are a lot of dudes talking about trap lives that they maybe lived 20 years ago, and some never lived. They just speaking on as if they lived. There are a lot of guys still speaking on the same drugs they've been smoking for 30 years, the same chicks that they've been smashing for the last 10 years. I mean, why are we saying that the men's content is so much better than women's, or at least not calling that side of it? I just want fairness. If some of you dudes are not happy with the content in women's rap nowadays, fine, all right? That's your own perspective and your own right. But can you keep that same energy on the other side? Like, for every record that Cardi and Megan make, there are like 10,000 dude records when these guys are talking about the same jewelry, the same cars, and the same clothes. I'm not mad at any of it, but you just can't call out the women. We get Cardi and Megan, they make one record. We have these two female acts get together on that page. That happens rarely in hip hop. We already talked about how rarely that happens. And the first thing CeeLo Green wants to do is tear that down. You don't have to love it, but keep that same energy for men that you have worked with in this industry that are right now talking about nothing. That's all I'm saying. Here's a quick news break with yours truly. I'm the one and only. I go by the name of Mr. TALIAFERRO. And I want to thank you for tuning in and watching this video. A little longer of a news break than normal. And for you, being loyal to your boy. I know I've been a little MIA. I've been moving, for those who don't know. I want to drop this little Amazon gift card off. The code is right there. The first person that gets it, it's theirs. I don't know how much is on this one, but be my guest. The first person that goes and redeems this Amazon gift card on Amazon's website, it's theirs. Congratulations to whoever gets it. Maybe let me know in the comment box below if you win it. I thank you guys so much for the time, love, support. I don't take it for granted. Salute. I'm out.